The Order of Australia is our nation's preeminent means of identifying those among us who have made an outstanding contribution to society and who enrich our lives. Your Excellency, to be awarded the Medal of the Order of Australia, Chief Petty Officer Troy Ether, Acting Station Sergeant Robert James, Leading Senior Constable Kelly Bors, Detective Leading Senior Constable Benjamin Cox, First Constable Matthew Fitzgerald, Senior Constable Justin Bateman, Detective Leading Senior Constable Chris Markrow, Dr Craig Challen and Dr Richard Harris. For service to the international community through specialist response roles during the Tham Luang cave rescue in Thailand 2018. These individuals were faced with an enormous challenge: to help rescue a group of missing children and their coach deep within a complex flooded cave system. It would take every ounce of skill and professionalism they had as part of the broad international effort. But more than that, it would take character, grit and determination. For long hours, day after day, under perilous conditions, they persisted. They faced unimaginable odds and they prevailed. They brought the faces of 13 young men back into the sunshine and into the arms of their loved ones. They brought to the fore all of the values we hold dear as Australians, and today their nation thanks them. Your Excellency, to be presented with the Medal of the Order of Australia, Chief Petty Officer Troy Ether. Acting Station Sergeant Robert James. Leading Senior Constable Kelly Bors. Detective Leading Senior Constable Benjamin Cox. First Constable Matthew Fitzgerald. Senior Constable Justin Bateman. Detective Leading Senior Constable Chris Markrow. Dr Craig Challen and Dr Richard Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation. Thank you, gentlemen. You may be seated. Your Excellency, we now turn to bravery decorations. The Bravery Decorations Council has carefully considered nominations for these individuals, and you have agreed to these awards. Your Excellency, to be awarded the Bravery Medal, Chief Petty Officer Troy Ether, Acting Station Sergeant Robert James, Leading Senior Constable Kelly Bors, Detective Leading Senior Constable Benjamin Cox, First Constable Matthew Fitzgerald, Senior Constable Justin Bateman, and Detective Leading Senior Constable Chris Markrow, for acts of bravery in hazardous conditions during the Tham Luang cave rescue in Thailand 2018. These men deployed at short notice to Thailand as part of the international response effort. They played an instrumental role in the search and scout diving throughout the cave system during the early phases of the mission, including before water pumps had been installed, where there were no maps or lighting, increasing the obvious risks. Conditions were incredibly challenging. There was zero visibility and strong currents to contend with. For most, there were many long days of diving, in some cases over 10 hours a day for 10 days. They dived kilometres within the cave system, searching, scouting, helping establishing forward operating bases. They helped carry oxygen cylinders and other vital supplies. Throughout, they were conscious of the urgent and life-saving task of finding and retrieving the young men. They put themselves into life-threatening danger knowingly, risking their own lives for others. As integral members of the rescue effort, they formed part of the daisy chain throughout the cave system, gently shepherding the fragile bodies of the boys from hand to hand. They did not give up until the job was done. And for their acts of bravery, today our nation says thank you. Your Excellency, for their actions, these men displayed considerable bravery and are to be presented with the Bravery Medal. Chief Petty Officer Troy Ether, OAM. Acting Station Sergeant Robert James, OAM. Leading Senior Constable Kelly Bors, OAM. Detective Leading Senior Constable Benjamin Cox, OAM. First Constable Matthew Fitzgerald, OAM. Senior Constable Justin Bateman, OAM. Detective Leading Senior Constable Chris Markrow, OAM. Ladies and gentlemen, let's show our appreciation. Thank you, gentlemen. You may be seated. And Your Excellency, there are two individuals here that have been considered worthy of higher bravery recognition because of their unique role in the rescue mission. To be awarded the Star of Courage, Dr. Craig Challen and Dr. Richard Harris. For acts of conspicuous courage in circumstances of great peril during the Tham Luang cave rescue in Thailand 2018. The full deeds of these men may never fully be known. What we do know is that they worked together as a team. They've been described as the linchpins of the entire operation. There is no doubt that their application of medical skill and solutions was instrumental in the outcome. For days, these men dived for long hours deep within the cave system. Conditions were very hazardous. At any moment, waters could have surged through the cave, causing serious injury. The precious lives of these boys were literally in their hands. With expert skill and care, they devised a solution that was thought impossible. One by one, the boys were sent through the daisy chain, in darkness and against the odds. And one by one, they were saved. Their acts have astonished us all. The boys have returned to the warm embrace of the outside world because of these men standing before us and because of their bravery. Your Excellency, by their actions, these men displayed conspicuous courage and are to be presented with the Star of Courage, Dr. Craig Challen, OAM, and Dr. Richard Harris, OAM. Ladies and gentlemen, the Governor-General will now address us.
Prime Minister, Ministers, Leader of the Opposition, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Australians watching this broadcast, and most importantly those being recognised by their nation today. Of all the Australian values and human qualities we cherish, selflessness and courage stand in the front rank. We see it often within our wider community, among our emergency services, among our military forces. Recognising it in this manner is part of our modern practice, part of our perpetual duty. We do so now in the national capital, a few days after a globally known event at which our fellow Australians, along with Thai citizens and the men and women of other nations, conducted a thrilling rescue of helpless young men who were themselves strong and brave, and in doing so captivated the world. To those recognised today, let me say that in the gathering the information supporting this recognition, those who did the research reported two invariable elements of your responses. First, that others involved did wonderful work. Also, that you weren't exceptional. You were just doing your bit. Now, none of us will dispute the former. On the latter, we think that you were remarkable, skillful, tireless, compassionate and courageous. Your nation is so proud of you. Today, Australia salutes you. Thank you.